Yo guys, what is good and welcome back on the channel. Now I hope you're all having a good time. I certainly am, because as y'all can see I got a new setup. So we have this new Shure MV7X, which is my new main mic. But now in today's video I want to show you how you can work on collabs with other producers and how actually I work together with other producers and make music with them together. Because you don't always have to sit in the same room in order to collab with people. I know that a lot of you know this already and are working with other people on a regular basis. But I still want to just show you my process on how I work with other people. Now the first collab we're going to work on today is with my bro ProdByKain. Definitely check him out. I'm going to link him in the description if you want to follow me on Instagram or something. And he sent me this idea for a beat. So, you know, pretty basic little baby type beat. I also put some drums on this. But as you can hear, it's still a really rough idea. So, unfortunately, he's not working in Ableton, so he just, you know, couldn't send me over the project file. But what I like to do, if, you know, someone already started a beat on a loop they did, is they said just send me over the stems. So they export out every single track, and this way we end up with a bunch of different files, and we can just drag them in. They're all, you know, the length of the beat, and we can work on them as if they were, you know, a sample or something that we used. So I'm just gonna show you how this works. Just select everything, drag it in while holding control, and Ableton is automatically going to put it on all the different tracks. Now, as you can see, it's at 175 BPM, so I'm going to set my project tempo to 175 as well. Now, as you guys can see, I organized like the whole beat the way I would organize it if this was my own beat. So we have all the melody elements up here, we have the 808 down here, we have the kick, and, you know, all the other drums underneath, and then down here we have all the effects, rises, and, you know, the gong and all that stuff. So let's just listen to the hook real quick. So as you guys can see, there's really, the whole idea is basically there, all the elements are there, and now the only thing that I have to do in order to finish up this beat is just, you know, adjust small things, maybe add a few new ideas that are not in the beat right now. And also I have to mix this because at the moment it's really not sounding all that clean. Alright, I'll now listen to the full beat, and I already changed up a few things. So, you know, I just rearranged the kick pattern a little bit. I turned up the volume of the counter snare and the clap quite a bit because I think they were just a little too quiet. And I also, you know, took down the melody by quite a bit. I pretty much instantly noticed that the melody is sounding way too dry in my opinion. I'm gonna add a plate reverb to this. Just notice the difference without the reverb and with the reverb. And I'm also gonna EQ this a little bit. And because this is more on the right side, I'm actually going to use the left-right mode on my EQ and just edit like the right part and just take down these highs a little bit. You know, when you have too much lows in your mix, it's actually going to clash with the 808, which is, you know, occupying most of that low frequency range. And with most of the melodic instruments, it really, they don't need to be any low frequencies in that sound to make, you know, the sound actually sound good. So this is what a melody is sounding like right now. Yeah, I would really much like to turn down this top line melody that comes in right here. That's on the right side. It's just a little bit too loud in my opinion, but unfortunately I can't do this in any way as long as I don't have the stems, which is always the downside of using stems in order to collaborate with other people. So if your collaborator is using the same DAW as you, it would always make sense to just, you know, send over the project file, save all the files, and as long as you have the same VSTs, you can just open up on your PC and work with that. So the drums sound pretty solid, nothing really to fix. Obviously we need to make sure that all the levels are set correctly later down in the mixing stage. But for now I just leave them as they are. The only thing I'm gonna change is maybe I'm gonna put in like a different 808 in right here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is sounding hard actually. The only thing I don't like at the moment is the kick pattern. So something you can do if somebody sends over, you know, stems to you and you don't have like the actual sample and the actual MIDI. You can just, you know, go into that audio clip and just, at least in Ableton, just select that sample, just make a new sample out of this, and then drag it into, you know, your MIDI clip that you create. And this way you have access to like the exact sound, the exact sample, but you can put in your own pattern. So if I'm just putting in something like this. Alright, so I'm gonna listen from the beginning once more, and we're just gonna see if, you know, there's anything else I want to change. A sub bass could sound really clean right here. Also, I just want to add in a crash, just to, you know, give some more punch to those drops. I think at that point we also got to switch up our hi-hat in some sort of way, because it's just getting a little bit repetitive. So I'm just gonna try to find like a maybe a little more simple pattern. Now I also want to add a tape stop to this. So a really great plugin that does this is the Tape Mellowfry plugin from Tuya, which you maybe own if you have the V collection. So I'm just gonna set like all the parameters to basically 0. So it's not affecting like the sound of the beat actually, but we're going to use this little button down here that allows us to do tape stops. So just right at the end, I am going to automate the button click. So it's going to stop or use the tape stop effect right at the end right here. I'm going to work off a sample of another producer I'm working with really heavily, and that's MOEBeats. Shout out, bro. Also, I'll leave the link to his Instagram in the description as well, so if you want to check him out, do that. We're actually working on a collab tape for our Spotify profile at the moment. He's also really heavy on, you know, and he just happened to send me a melody, I think yesterday, so we can work off of that. Now this is basically the simplest way to collab with someone, just, you know, sending over loops to each other and then making a beat out of them, and boom, you instantly have like a collaboration together. So here's what the loop sounds like that he sent us. It definitely has that baby bounce to it, you know, that little baby thing. So we already set our tempo to 137 BPM, and now we can just drag over the layers for the melody. So we have some really cool elements in here. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is the slow piano. It just sounds a little bit, you know, not the highest quality in my opinion. And right here, I think for the hook, maybe we can halftime the whole thing, because we have to get something that sounds different to what we had before. Yeah, this sounds hard. Alright, I would say that's enough for the melody. I think we should just start adding some drums. So this needs some super hard little baby trap sounds. So I think a good starting point for this would be the Chemix Essential Stash, because it has a bunch of crazy sounds. Maybe we drag in like a counter snare. That snare bounce is a little bit, you know, different from what you usually do, but I like it. Now it's time for a hi-hat. Now, I think we can go over to adding the 808 now. Alright, time to add in a kick. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the piano. Maybe we try replacing with like a sub bass. I think like this whole piano sound, it sometimes sounds so cheap and, you know, just cliche. It doesn't really work. Alright, so I think you get where I'm going with speed. Obviously, this isn't finished yet. I still have to, you know, work a little bit more on the details, go through the whole mixing process, but I usually don't do this in one sitting, so I either finish up a beat or I start a new one. After a while of, you know, listening to my music, my ears just aren't as good with, you know, detecting what sounds good and what doesn't sound good anymore. I'm just gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna play the final beat at the end of this video, but before that, I just want to thank you really much for watching the video up to this point. Really appreciate that. Here's the final beat.